In this video, I drive the absolutely insane Audi Quattro S1 around the Nurburgring. Now, this car was built for Group B rally, but around this track, it is absolutely perfect. With around 600 horsepower from a turbocharged 5-cylinder engine, this thing sounds and looks absolutely amazing. So, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you do, make sure to like and subscribe. Hello everyone, here we are in the car we're driving today. This is obviously the Audi Sport Quattro. This is the S1 E2, meaning this is pretty much the pinnacle of the Audi Quattros. As you know, this thing pretty much revolutionized rally for what it is now. I mean, the Quattro, obviously, 4. This brought all-wheel drive into rally and really popularized it, especially through Group B. Now, this version of it, this did a few big things. For instance, this was a lot lighter and more bounced than previous variants, and also made a lot more horsepower. As you can see, it also has insane aerodynamics, because when you have a lot of horsepower and you're going pretty fast over bumpy dirt roads, you're going to want to be able to stick down to the ground as much as you can and not fly off like a plane, which sadly a lot of Group B rally cars did. Obviously, we have all-wheel drive. I think near 600 horsepower. I mean, Group B cars are absolutely insane. And so we're going to take this thing around the Nurburgring, obviously, today. And see what this thing can do on some tarmac. Which, luckily, we have tarmac tires on. So, let's hop into it and see what it can do here. Absolutely lovely sounding. Inline 5. Turbocharged, giving us that power. Now we are all-wheel drive, so I'm expecting understeer, obviously, through some of these turns. Oh my gosh. And luckily, this version is with the downforce, so that should help us a little bit. I mean, it's the 80s, so at this point they're still just sort of slapping big wings on the stuff and not as advanced aerodynamics as it is nowadays. Nonetheless, for a... Okay. Handling's not that bad for an 80s hatchback. I mean, wasn't really designed for... I mean, it was designed for these kind of twisty roads, I guess. I mean, it is a rally car at heart, after all. It was built for this. It sounds amazing, though. I'm gonna break through here. I don't trust the high-speed corner all that much. Just because it's a lightning model doesn't mean it's not still a pretty heavy car. Now, what I really wish about these Audi Quattros is that they made more of them. They're such cool cars, and definitely probably one of my favorite hatchbacks of all time. And it really sucks. I mean, of course, they made a lot less of the sports, but even just the normal ones, they only made, I think, a little over 1,000, maybe more than that. They didn't make many because obviously the thing was entirely developed for Group B, and to have a car that could participate in Group B, the manufacturers had to make, I think it was 200, was it 200 or 400 of them? I think it was only 200, in order to let the car compete in Group B. Which sucks about a lot of the Group B cars is they never made a lot of the road-going variants because they just wanted the car out there to be able to compete competitively instead of wasting money producing more cars. But this thing just gets out of corners so well. I've driven, not this exact version, but other version of this on Richard Burns Rally, which I think I want to play next. I have to figure some things out with it, though. I think I did fix some of the updates on it, and I'll play that in the next video probably. But driving something like this around here is actually a lot more tame. This thing's a lot more crazy on dirt. It's a lot of power to control. And compared to some of the roads this thing usually sees, you don't say this much, but there's actually a lot of space on the Nurburgring compared to other roads. Okay, lock the brakes a bit there. We keep it under control. That was the best place for it to happen, luckily. And another thing about these Group B cars is, especially at least for the all-wheel drive ones like this Audi Quattro, is they didn't need a handbrake, I don't believe. because they were permanently locked in all-wheel drive. Nowadays, the WRC cars, obviously, they're all-wheel drive and use handbrakes, but they have I forget what it's called, but I know it splits somehow. So when they pull the handbrake, it doesn't lock all 4 tires by locking the differential and stuff like that. The Group B cars didn't rally it, but when you watch videos of drivers like Michelle Mouton driving this car, she still absolutely whips this thing around corners like it's absolutely no problem. Now I would try that, but I feel like if I did try that, I would immediately slam into a wall, especially since I don't really need to slide through corners on tarmac here. Take this one a little bit slower. I don't fully trust the car yet, although the handling is absolutely amazing. But yeah, Group B, absolutely amazing. Definitely probably the most sought after form of racing of all time. Oh my gosh, okay. Whoa, it's a little bit unstable on the brakes. Kind of my fault, I'm depressing them a little too much. I don't drive all-wheel drive often. It's a little harder, especially on tarmac, usually. Driving all-wheel drive off-road. Speaking of off-road, if I go off the track here, we should be fine. This thing was kind of built for that. We still got the suspension for it. It sounds great. The rumbling on the downshifts. Hearing the turbo wind up. I'll have, of course, some external footage for you guys during the clip. I imagine you can hear that turbo whippling. I can hear it a little bit from the inside, but the engine sort of overpowers that sound. That's one of my favorite parts about this car, is the turbo sound it makes. It's absolutely amazing. But I think of my favorite car to go through Group B, which, what was it, Lancia Delta S1, I think it was. I'm pretty sure that's the one that had the, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that was the one that had the twin-charge engine, where it had a supercharger and a turbocharger, because at this time, turbos still were, not fairly new, but they were still not fully figured out, so they still had a lot of lag in the turbos, and the supercharger would just get the car off the low end, and then the turbo would kick in, and it was amazing. And I'm pretty sure it's also the same car that ended Group B after it crashed and just exploded into a massive ball of flames, killing the driver and co-driver, sadly. I forget their names. But this was dangerous, Group B. I mean, teams are always putting just different amounts of horsepower in the cars. I mean, imagine, like, they tell us these numbers for how much horsepower they were making, but you see some clips of them and you're wondering, damn, maybe they were hiding some of these horsepower numbers from us and how much they were really making behind these engines. Because there was very loose rules. You don't see these kind of loose rules anymore. I mean, rally's still amazing, and I think will forever be great. Rally will be one of those few motorsports that will always stay great. But we'll never have another thing like Group B. So we have to take those, what was it, 6-7 years and just fully appreciate them. Now I think we only have 5 years here, but this thing obviously wasn't built for top speed. Yeah, only 5. Obviously was not built for top speed at all. This thing was built for flying through a rally stage as quickly as possible, and you don't have much time for top speed on a rally stage. Still getting 275 Ks out of it, ain't too bad. Okay, a lot of understeer through there. Luckily, again, we're in a rally car, so the off-road might be an advantage for us. Slowing down here a lot. Now I like this thing because it's got the tall, soft suspension, so curbs are no problem for it. Usually around the Nurburgring, if you've ever driven it, the curbs here are absolutely massive and deadly. Oh, no! I'm having a lot of trouble on the brakes in this thing. Like I was saying, the curbs are massive and deadly. You hit one in any car, and it will spin you out. But in this thing, it doesn't mind them. It's got soft suspension still, as seen by the massive amounts of body roll as I go around every corner here. Gotta be very careful on the brakes. But yeah, it just glides over. Watch this. Just glides right over the curb. You do that in like a GT3 car, done, dead. Dead into a wall. This thing is like, it's promoting corner cutting, like right here. It doesn't care. It loves it. It's built for it. It's definitely one way to get some lap time back after spinning out into turn one. It just absolutely eats these curbs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I also love the amount of buttons that we have on our dashboard here to our right. It looks like a damn spaceship console or something. Also, every gauge in the book. You can do a temperature of damn near every single piston ring pretty much of these gauges. Also, I feel like that roll gauge on my left seems just a little thin for the speeds this thing hits. I think I would like a little bit thicker pipes. That thing just doesn't seem like it's a full cage, which is another way Group E Rally would lighten their cars. I mean, Rally back in the day was just, that was the shit. I mean, they had so much going on with it. So many random innovations and stuff. Such cool cars too. I noticed one Saab, I think it was in the 80s or 90s, I forget which one, I forget what Saab model as well. But the structure of the road car alone was so strong that I don't think they needed a roll cage when they went rallying, because it was already strong enough to deal with impacts and stuff. Just pretty sure, I forget what model it was. What model of Saab. Saabs are cool cars though. Let's just corner cut. It doesn't care. It enjoys it. It'd rather do that than stay on the actual tarmac. I mean, you do that in any other car that's not something like this, and you're just done for. There's my tire marks from last time. You're just done for. You just can't do that in some cars. This thing just doesn't care though. Okay. Does care about the brakes. It's a little unsteady on our braking. Maybe I got to change my brake bias a little bit. Or just be a little bit careful on them. But yeah, I don't usually take this much curb around this track. You can't. But in this thing, it's the best option. I'm just crazy doing it. It just eats them, man. Up the hill again. Hear that turbo winds up. Winds up really quick, actually. Understeer through there. Definitely not built for high speed cornering. I mean, the downforce wasn't really to keep it down through corners, more of literal downforce to keep it down from flying too far off of jumps. Which makes me think, I wonder if we can get air off of the jump on this track. I'm gonna try to. I'll brake after it. I'll probably go into the dirt, but... Ooh, okay, a little scrape on the wall there. This is what I start doing. I start talking more than I'm thinking of driving, and then I start making more mistakes. Always up through the carousel. I'm gonna try a little something here. Okay, it didn't do the thing I wanted to do. I didn't slow down enough. That's my bad. I am not that guy. Gotta say, the all-wheel drive is nice. I don't drive all-wheel drive cars very often, but they really do just easily get out of corners. You want to think you have 600 horsepower the way you can just step on the throttle without an issue. I wonder if... I'm not sure. I mean, I imagine at some point they took one of these around the Nurburgring for a lap. They had to have. Super. It just jumps the curb, so I'm sorry, but it just... It's fantastic. Nurburgring's definitely a soft suspension track, I feel like. At least in my opinion, just for getting over some of the bumps there. There's obviously the body roll, the soft suspension. That's where you wouldn't want it. Obviously, I think if you actually wanted to get faster laps, you would need a little bit stiffer of springs. Just to cancel out some of the body roll that this thing gets. But again, it is a rally car. It's built for mostly, well, multi-surface racing, mostly off-road fully though. Oh yeah. I think I had a little bit of air. I braked before though, I forgot I was going to try to get that flat out. Okay, let's go off-road then. As long as we don't hit the wall, we're good. I've been paying much attention to my time, but maybe I can get sub 8 minutes. I can definitely go way faster. Again, I haven't really been paying attention. Let's just jump across this here. Because I've been talking a lot during this. Okay, a lot of understeer there. This thing drives... It does feel really good just driving. I imagine it's a lot worse on a very narrow rally stage where you're on a loose surface. But yeah, I'm definitely playing Richard Burns Rally next. Probably gonna drive this, at least a model similar to it, or maybe some other Group B car. Not the best at rally, but I'll definitely give it another go. Down to Dottinger now. Look at the beautiful castle on the hill. Really want to see that one day. Really want to see this whole track one day in real life. I would absolutely love to. Kind of why I started this YouTube channel. See if I can get big enough to eventually past the tourist center there. Coming over to Crest. Under the Bilstein Bridge. Oh, okay. Yeah, it does not want to take that flat. Honestly. We'll just go across here. Yeah. And let's just go across here. What's the point of taking a rally car? What's the point of taking a rally car if you don't use it off-road, man? Use the advantages. Boom. Sub 8 by a thousandth of a second. Alright, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure to like and subscribe. And if you are hearing this, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. It helps me out a lot with watch time and stuff like that. So again, if you enjoyed, like and subscribe, because you can see more content like this on my YouTube. Just go to my account and you can find a bunch of other videos just like this one. So that's going to be it for today. See ya.